Hello, everyone. Hola, mundo. Welcome, world. And welcome to Voces Poderosas 2023. I'm Jackie Bouvier, and again, shining the light on our nation's most powerful voices of influence. I'm creating a movement that inspires and empowers our Latinidad through powerful and influential voices. Voces Poderosas, as you know, it's a transformative mini series that features trailblazers, spearheads, catalysts, pioneers. These professionals have insightful wisdom that will inform, empower, and just catapult you to the next level of success. And that's what we're here to do, to empower you in that way. Today, Today I have the grand honor and pleasure of introducing to you Rafael Magaña, Senior Director of Development, Corporate Partnerships, Major Gifts, and Planned Giving. He is the founder of the Latino Professionals, Latina Professionals, and Latinx Professionals. What an honor. What a true honor to have you on here. I'm pleased and honored to have you. So let me ask you the questions. We want to know about you, right? Who are you? What's your story? What does Hispanic Heritage Month mean to you? We know we're here at the tail end of the month, but what does it mean to just have that herencia, right? Your culture, and how does it align with you and what you're doing professionally? So welcome, Rafael. Tell us about you.
Thank you so much, Jackie, for having me. It's a true pleasure to be here. I always like to start, who am I? That's a really great question. And what's your story? Para mí, I really like to start with, I am the son of hardworking immigrants who really instilled the values of resilience, dedication, y trabajar duro, right? Hard work, and really taught me that our roots is our strengths, right? I think I go back to thinking with my grandfather who came here in the 1958s, 1960s, and a lot of that generation had to choose between two cultures, either being Latino and being an American. And I think for me, my personal story, and as I talk to our younger generation, or what I call our rising Latino, Latina, Latinx, is you can be both. You can be, you're absolutely Latino and you're absolutely American, right? So I think that's the beauty. For me, as you mentioned, I'm the founder of three incredible organizations because one wasn't enough. I created in 2016 Latino Professionals, and shortly followed by Latina Professionals and Latinx Professionals. And these are three incredible communities that have really blossomed, have really grown exponentially. The engagement that we have is out of this world, according to our LinkedIn team, that we are just piloting a lot of their software that's being rolled out in terms of their blogs, their live streaming, a lot of the things we get to pilot before many organizations. And for us, I always like to say my wife and I created these three safe spaces for Latinos to be themselves and also to be American, but more importantly, to build comunidad. I think I always love telling the story how we started with Latino Professionals. It was in Washington, D.C., and I wanted to create community. And one of the things that I started doing was creating potlucks. I would invite everybody from different Latino cultures and say, you have to bring a dish that your abuelita would prepare. And so we had people from Argentina, from Chile, from Peru, from Costa Rica, from Dominicanos, Puerto Ricanos, and really each one would come in with a particular dish. And this allowed us to connect, to talk about the food, to talk about music, to talk about our culture. And what I found is that the more you talked about the culture, the more that people lit up, the more people wanted to talk about. And what started as a small movement of 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 individuals just blossom into a community that was very much needed. I felt like we were onto something special. And fast forward here today, we are building one of the largest communities. 3 weeks ago, my wife and I released an incredible press release that by 2026, Latino professionals and Latina professionals will reach 1 million individuals on the platform. So for us, it is setting that big, brave goal and going after it.
That's amazing. Wow. Wow. Your wife and you. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Talk about being familia, right? And having that inclusiveness of just bringing in your familia. I love it. I love it. And I love what you said about culture because what I've been seeing a lot across the nation is the thriving businesses. So I'm a much of a entrepreneurial culture, right? So when I start seeing small businesses that are thriving, it's usually because they're aligning with their cultura, they're aligning with the community. So the fact that you started with potlucks and you brought this on, it just makes more sense why you're being so successful. I love it. This is amazing. So why don't you tell me a little bit about um, the positive advice that you can give someone that would encourage them to shed the light on professional Latinos, or even in your industry? What have you seen that you, or in other words, what is that gap that we still need to bridge, and what would be your advice?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Thank you, Jackie. I want to go back to sharing with you and the audience of, the importance of Hispanic Heritage Month and what that means to me
Oh,
and my
yes, of
wife.
course.
I think it's so important that we have a month, not a day, not a week, but a full month. And I think, I share the sentiment with a lot of your previous speakers that we should be celebrating year long, right? The importance of our community, celebrar nuestra cultura. I think there's something beautiful behind it. But the fact that we have a month and we're moving the needle, I always love using the story. As I was working up my way up the corporate ladder, Rafael with an F became Rafael with a PH. I found myself in many situations where I would write my email signed Rafael, and I would get a response, "Thank you so much, Raf," or Rafael with the PH. And suddenly I found myself with time, my business cards reflected that Rafael with the PH. And I remember visiting down and sitting down with my familia, and I shared the business card with my mom. And she said, "Mijo, that's not your name. Your name is Rafael with an F. Why did you change your name?" And that was a really great question. And so for me, Hispanic Heritage Month means so much. It's just such a special month that we get to talk about our stories, and we get to claim our roots, as I mentioned earlier, the importance of our raíces, and we get to celebrate, we get to talk about food, culture, music, and it's such a beautiful time for us to talk about our culture, connect with each other, and I'll leave it at that.
I love that you mentioned that story with regard to the name because that's a powerful story to tell. A lot of people change their last names or shorten them from Martinez to Martz, stuff like that. So, no, I truly appreciate you sharing that. I think it's very powerful and it will resonate with a lot of our audience out there. And it'll help understand that we have to own who we are, right? Our cultura and como tú dijiste, our raíces. So thanks for sharing that. That's a powerful meaning to Hispanic Heritage Month for you. And I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people.
Wonderful. And then going to your latter question, as a professional in our industry, sharing my experience, I think we have an incredible amount of talent in our Latino community. And really, as companies begin to create that pipeline within their companies, they have to look from within. I think as they realize that majority of their market share is the Hispanic community, the leadership needs to reflect that. And so the earlier that corporate C-level executives realize that and tap into nurturing and elevating Latino, Latinas within their companies, and as they report directly to the C-suite, they're going to see a transformation, and a transformation in the business sense, and the transformation in terms of the numbers and market reach. And the companies that are early adopters of that are really going to be first to market and are going to be able to leverage that. So I encourage companies and Fortune 1000 companies, C-level suites who already know this, and some of individuals that have spoken in your podcast are really leveraging that and really just telling the message that companies that leverage and tap into Latino, Latina talent are going to have an advantage.
Absolutely. That's absolutely correct. And I appreciate you for sharing that. Um, Rafael, any last words of advice that you would like to share to all of our audience out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll leave you with the following, which is our community is nothing but short of phenomenal. I'm going to leave you with 4 points. And one is be a lifelong learner. One of the things that I found, and I always say that a great leader is a great speaker and a great writer. Those are two great ways of getting your message across and influencing and reaching a wider audience. Number two, be passionate. Be obsessed. I personally am obsessed with Latino, Latina, Latinx professionals, three incredible organizations that are moving the needle for our community and are, as I wholeheartedly believe, they are the future. Point number three is put in the hard work. Many of us early in my career, I would start a project and then jump to another project and jump to another project. And I think it was that kind of project high, right? That you're working on something new and you shelf something that you're working on. And I truly believe that when you put in the hard work and you see things through to the finish line is where things begin to transform for you. A great example is Latino professionals. There were many moments that I could have walked away and stepped back and moved away from what we were building because of the challenges, because of the constant climbing of mountains of challenges and overcoming that mountain, only to realize that there was 2, 3, 4, 5 mountains behind that workload, right? And when you put in the hard work and you see things through, things begin to transform for you and your career. And then the fourth point that I'll leave you, Jackie, and all of our listeners and viewers today is ask for what you want. You know, we talk about going to your direct report, going to your familia, going to your corporate partners, and ask for what you want. What you find in the business world is being transparent, being honest. You get further than shying away and indirectly asking for what you're looking for.
Wow, those are great points. That's amazing. Great advice. Rafael, gracias. Thank you so much. It's truly a blessing to have you here. Your story is powerful. I feel like it resonates with me and it will resonate with so many people out there. And I believe it. And so I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day. Thank you for being part of Voces Poderosas. Let me rephrase that. Thank you for being una voz poderosa in our nation. It's powerful. And I truly admire you for it. And I thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jackie, for having me.
Thank you.